What if I told you that the biggest betrayal in Real Housewives of Atlanta history wasn't just dramatic TV moments, but something planned out over a long time? Carlos King has often been blamed for the scandal involving Kandi Burruss, Phaedra Porsha, and Porsha Williams. But now, shocking new details are coming out that might change how we see everything. Was Carlos really the mastermind behind all the drama, or was he just used as a scapegoat in a much bigger scheme? Stick with me because by the end of this video, you might look at Carlos King in a completely different way. For years, fans of Real Housewives of Atlanta have been divided over one of the most dramatic scandals in reality TV history, the mess involving Kandi Burruss, Phaedra Porsha, and Porsha Williams. At the heart of it was a serious accusation that turned friends into enemies, leaving the audience shocked. But behind the scenes, another name was quietly being mentioned: Carlos King. Rumors quickly spread that Carlos, a former producer of the show, played a role in spreading the false claims about Kandi. Some people thought he created the drama for ratings, while others believed he was unfairly blamed for something he didn't have control over. But now, with new information coming to light, it seems Carlos might have been wrongly accused in all of this. In this deep dive, we'll explore the shocking accusation that changed our show forever, how Carlos King became involved in the controversy, the truth behind the rumors, and finally, the new evidence that could clear his name. To understand why Carlos King's name was even brought into this, we have to go back to one of the most explosive moments in Real Housewives of Atlanta history. It all started during Season 9, when Porsha Williams made a huge accusation against Kandi Burruss. According to Porsha, she had been told that Kandi and her husband Todd Tucker had allegedly planned to drug her and take advantage of her. This was a serious and shocking claim that caused chaos among the cast. Kandi, who was known for being a successful businesswoman, musician, and family-oriented person, was completely blindsided. She denied the claims, broke down in tears, and demanded answers. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. Where did this rumor even come from? That's when the real shocker came. During the reunion, Porsha revealed that she had heard this rumor from Phaedra Porsha. Not only that, but Phaedra allegedly said she got the information from a reliable source. When Andy Cohen asked for more details, Phaedra had nothing, no proof, no evidence, just silence. The whole reunion set went quiet. Porsha realized she had been tricked into spreading a false story. Kandi was furious, feeling like her reputation had been destroyed by a complete lie. But here's where things get complicated. Instead of just blaming Phaedra, whispers began circulating that Carlos King, a top producer on our show at the time, might have been the one behind the story. That is when the real drama started. Shortly after the reunion, rumors began circulating that Phaedra Porsha did not come up with the damaging accusation about Kandi Burruss on her own. According to multiple sources, the rumor had been fed to her, but by whom? Fans were quick to point the finger at Carlos King, who had been one of Archo's executive producers for many years. The theory was that Carlos, known for his deep involvement in shaping storylines, might have encouraged or even created the rumor in order to add drama and boost ratings. This theory gained even more attention when it was revealed that after Season 9, Carlos was suddenly no longer working on Archo. Some reports suggested he had been fired because of his alleged involvement in the scandal, while others claimed he left voluntarily to pursue his own projects. What made the situation even more intriguing was the fact that Carlos King himself never publicly confirmed or denied any of the accusations. So, was he really responsible for all of this, or was he just an easy target for Bravo and the producers to blame? This is the question that many people continue to ask, and trust me, what we may uncover could change everything. To understand what really happened, we need to dive into the explosive scandal that unfolded during Season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. In one of the most jaw-dropping moments of the season, Phaedra Porsha made a shocking accusation against Kandi Burruss, claiming that Kandi and her husband Todd Tucker had allegedly planned to drug Porsha Williams and take advantage of her. The accusation was so serious and so disturbing that it rocked the entire cast and left fans in complete disbelief. Kandi, who had built a reputation as a successful businesswoman, musician, and loving family member, was blindsided by the allegation. She immediately denied the claims, broke down in tears on camera, and demanded answers from everyone involved. The audience was left wondering how such a rumor could have even started. That's when the real bombshell dropped during the reunion special. Phaedra revealed that she had actually heard the rumor from a reliable source, but refused to give any details about who that source was. When Andy Cohen pressed her for more information, Phaedra could not provide any proof or receipts to back up her claim, and the entire reunion set went dead quiet. Porsha was left stunned, realizing that she had been manipulated into spreading a false accusation. Kandi, understandably, was furious and felt that her reputation had been dragged through the mud for something that wasn't true. However, instead of just blaming Phaedra for spreading the false rumor, whispers began circulating that Carlos King, one of Archo's top producers at the time, was the one behind the drama. Some people believed that Carlos, with his extensive experience in producing reality television, might have deliberately orchestrated the storyline in order to stir up controversy and boost ratings for the show. This theory gained more traction when it was revealed that Carlos King had suddenly left Archo after season 9. The timing of his departure was crucial. After the season that featured the scandal, Carlos was no longer working with the network. Some reports suggested that he had been fired because of his alleged role in the scandal, while others claimed that Carlos had voluntarily left to focus on his own projects. However, there was one thing that stood out. Carlos King never publicly commented on the rumors or accusations surrounding his exit from the show. In fact, he remained silent throughout the entire controversy. This silence left many fans wondering, was Carlos King truly responsible for feeding Phaedra the rumor, or was he just an easy scapegoat in Bravo's larger plan to maintain its reputation? Let's break down the case for and against Carlos King's involvement in the scandal as we search for the truth. The case against Carlos King. There are several reasons why people believe that Carlos King might have been involved in spreading the damaging rumor. Let's take a closer look at these reasons. His role as executive producer. As one of the executive producers of Archo, Carlos King was responsible for shaping the storylines and determining what would make it to the air. Reality TV is not just about filming what happens organically. It often involves producers guiding the cast members, suggesting certain topics, and encouraging specific drama in order to keep the audience engaged. Given Carlos's experience in creating high-stakes drama, many people speculated that he might have deliberately encouraged or even created the rumor to create one of the most explosive seasons in Archo history. His relationship with Phaedra Porsha. Carlos's close relationship with Phaedra Porsha has also raised suspicions. Phaedra was the person who passed the rumor onto Porsha Williams, and fans noted that Carlos and Phaedra seemed to have a friendship that extended beyond the show. If Carlos was looking to push a controversial storyline, he may have felt comfortable sharing information with Phaedra, knowing she would trust him. Additionally, after the scandal unfolded, Phaedra did not immediately clear Carlos's name. While she never specifically blamed him, her silence on the issue only fueled further speculation. His sudden departure from Archo after season 9. The timing of Carlos's departure from Archo after season 9 was another key factor that made fans suspicious. Season 9 was the season where the scandal took center stage, and after the season wrapped up, Carlos was no longer working with Bravo. Some reports suggested he was fired for his involvement in the scandal, while others speculated that he left voluntarily to pursue other opportunities. Regardless, the fact that he left the show after the most controversial season ever only made the situation seem even more suspicious. The case for Carlos King's innocence. Despite the speculation, there is no concrete evidence that Carlos King was involved in orchestrating the rumor. Several factors suggest that Carlos may have been unfairly blamed for something he had little, if anything, to do with. No solid proof. Carlos King has never publicly admitted to being involved in spreading the rumor. If he had been responsible, it seems likely that there would have been more evidence to support the claims. After all, this was one of the biggest scandals in reality TV history, and it would have been hard to keep such a secret under wraps. Instead, the accusations against Carlos remain based on speculation and not on solid, verifiable proof. Phaedra's silence. One of the strangest aspects of the entire situation is Phaedra's silence about where she got the rumor from. If Carlos had been involved, why didn't Phaedra just come out and say so? Instead, she remained tight-lipped, which has led many to wonder if she knew something that could have implicated Bravo, rather than Carlos. It is possible that Phaedra's silence was strategic, or perhaps she was protecting someone else. Bravo's history of curating drama. Some believe that Bravo, rather than Carlos, is the real mastermind behind the drama. The network thrives on high-stakes drama, and it's not uncommon for producers to influence the storylines. If Bravo wanted to create the most shocking season of Archoy, they might have deliberately let the rumor spread to boost ratings. When the backlash became too much to handle, they conveniently distanced themselves from the situation by cutting ties with both Carlos and Phaedra. Conclusion. At this point, it's clear that the truth behind the scandal is far from simple. While Carlos King's role in the controversy remains unclear, it is evident that he may have been unfairly blamed for something he did not directly cause. The case for Carlos's innocence is compelling, but without hard evidence, the mystery remains unresolved. As more details come to light, it is clear that the full story behind the Archoy Season 9 scandal is more complex than anyone initially thought. The case against Carlos, why some think he did it. There are several reasons why people believe Carlos King could have been responsible for spreading the false rumor. Let's go through them one by one. His role as an executive producer. As one of the top producers on Archoy at the time, Carlos King had a direct role in shaping the show's storylines and deciding what made it to the air. Reality TV is never just about what happens on its own. Producers often guide cast members, suggest topics, and encourage drama to keep viewers engaged. Many people believe Carlos, being skilled at creating high-stakes drama, might have intentionally stirred up the false claim to make the season more shocking. His close relationship with Phaedra Porsha. Another big reason people suspect Carlos was involved is his close relationship with Phaedra Porsha, the very person who passed the rumor onto Porsha Williams. Fans have pointed out that Carlos and Phaedra seem to have a friendship that went beyond just working on the show. If Carlos wanted to push a certain narrative, he may have felt comfortable feeding information to Phaedra, knowing she would trust him. It also didn't help that after the scandal, Phaedra remained silent about where the rumor had come from. She never directly blamed Carlos, but she also never cleared his name, which only fueled more speculation. Carlos's sudden exit from Archoy. One of the biggest reasons people believe Carlos King might have been involved is the timing of his departure from Archoy after Season 9, the very season when the scandal took place. Carlos was suddenly no longer working with Bravo. Some reports claimed he was fired because the network felt he had crossed a line by getting too involved in the storyline, while others suggested that his departure was mutual and that he chose to leave in order to focus on his own production company. Either way, the fact that Carlos left the show right after the most controversial season ever only added to the speculation. Many fans believe Bravo used Carlos as a fall guy rather than admit that they allowed the toxic storyline to air. They let Carlos take the blame and quietly removed him from the show. But was that really the case? The case for Carlos King's innocence, why he might have been wrongfully accused. While some fans are convinced that Carlos King was the mastermind behind all the drama, others believe he has been unfairly blamed. Here's why. Bravo has always been known for protecting its own interests. One thing we know about the network is that they will always do what is best for ratings and public image. If it had been revealed that the producers had directly influenced the Kandi, Phaedra, and Porsha scandal, it could have seriously harmed Bravo's reputation. The network could have faced backlash from viewers and even potential legal consequences. So, what is the easiest way to handle the situation? Blame a single person, Carlos King, remove him from the show, and let the scandal fade away while keeping Bravo's hands clean. From a business perspective, this makes perfect sense. Carlos King has never publicly admitted to anything. Despite all the rumors, Carlos has never confirmed that he played a part in creating the story. If he had been involved, wouldn't there have been more evidence? Wouldn't someone, whether it was Bravo, the cast, or other producers, have come forward with actual proof instead of just speculation? The fact that there is no solid evidence connecting Carlos to the rumor suggests that he might not have been involved at all. Another strange part of this whole situation is Phaedra Park's silence. Phaedra never fully explained where she got the false rumor from. If Carlos King was truly responsible, why wouldn't she just say that? Was she protecting him? Was she under some kind of legal agreement not to talk about it? Or was the truth something else entirely, something that might implicate Bravo instead of Carlos? The fact that Phaedra was completely cut from Archo after season 9 only makes things even more confusing. Was she punished for spreading a false rumor, or was she forced out because she knew too much? So, did Carlos King really do it? At this point, we have looked at the arguments from both sides. On one hand, Carlos had the power, connections, and motivation to push a controversial storyline. On the other hand, there is no solid proof that he was directly responsible, just speculation. So, what is the truth? That is where things get even more interesting. Recent revelations might just be the final piece of the puzzle. Stay tuned, because next, we are diving into brand new information that could either clear Carlos King's name or prove that he really was behind one of the biggest scandals in Archo history. You do not want to miss this. For years, the rumor mill has been full of speculation about Carlos King's involvement in the Archo Season 9 scandal. But now, new information is coming to light that could change everything. So, what is the latest update? Let's break it down. New sources speak out. Industry insiders defend Carlos. Recently, several industry insiders, including former Archo production staff and cast members, have come forward with shocking claims that could finally put this mystery to rest. According to these sources, Carlos King was not responsible for spreading the damaging rumor about Kandi Burruss. In fact, some even say he was not involved in any discussions about that particular storyline at all. One former Bravo employee, who spoke anonymously, claimed that Carlos was absolutely not the person who fed that information to Phaedra. The rumor was already circulating before it even made it onto camera. The problem, however, is that when the scandal blew up, Bravo needed someone to blame. Carlos was an easy target, especially since he was leaving anyway. This statement matches what many fans suspected all along, that Bravo executives may have intentionally pinned the blame on Carlos to protect the franchise and distance themselves from the backlash. But that's not all.